Your Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, said that the war had concluded. And yet just this week, Iran attacked U.S. allies in the region, calling it retaliation for a set of U.S. airstrikes.
Yeah, it doesn't really sound like much of a conclusion, does it?
Is the United States at war with Iran?
Well, they've been largely decapitated.
That's completely untrue. If they were largely decapitated, they wouldn't be firing on cargo ships trying to cross the Strait of Hormuz.
And I call it a military exercise because people would rather have it called that. It's not a...
Who would rather you call it that? Your PR folks? This is not a military exercise. This is a illegal war that Trump is conducting from the Oval Office via executive orders, essentially.
Big war for us. It's not. We have the most powerful military in the world. I built it, frankly. I built it in my first 4 years, and I'm using it a little bit in my second 4 years. Their Navy is gone. Their Air Force is gone. Their anti-aircraft is gone. They might have built it up a little bit over the last 4 weeks during this little ceasefire that we did at the request of some very good people, very, very fine people from, actually from numerous places, as you know. You know, there are a lot of people involved, but from Pakistan in particular, the Field Marshal and the Prime Minister. And we're very close to having a deal, and if we don't have a deal, we'll do it one way or the other. Either way, we win.
Trump constantly contradicts himself because he can't help it. He can't keep his lies together. When you lie so much, it's hard to keep up with what the original lie was, or what's, you know, the lies that stemmed off the original lie. So it's hard for him to keep up with all these lies, which is why he's constantly contradicting himself. We're working towards a deal, but we're also trying to destroy their government, and, you know, it just doesn't make any sense. I think Trump is just reacting to Netanyahu, Israel, being up his butt, telling him what to do behind the scenes, and at the end of the day, Trump is going to do whatever is in Israel's best interest, and so this war will continue. It's just going to be a ton of innocent people that have to suffer.
I do want to talk about the terms of any potential
Sure.
deal in just a moment, but let me just follow up with you. You did post on social media just this week, my final negotiations to end the war with the Islamic Republic of Iran. There is a naval blockade in place,
Yeah.
which technically is an act of war under international law. So is this a war as long as there's a naval blockade in place?
Well,
This is obviously a war. So the question should be like, why did you start this illegal and offensive war? What is the purpose behind it? What's the end goal here? Because no one can really figure it out. They're just basically disrupting the world economy by disrupting the Strait of Hormuz. Unfortunately, it is that important. Kristen's kind of like, is this a war? Is this not a war? Okay, let's watch a little bit more, but I definitely want to skip to the meaty part where Trump gets angry and walks out.
we have a blockade. It's been extremely effective, and the reason we have it is they try to blockade, and now we blockaded them.
So we double blockaded it, you know? We're thinking about putting a triple blockade on top of it.
And as you know, they're losing $400 to $500 million a day. It's not sustainable for them. They have an economy that's shot in addition to everything else. Their leaders are gone. Their generals are gone. Their first tier and second tier are gone. Much of their third tier is gone. But they put up a blockade, and so we blockaded them, and we have the ultimate blockade. I don't consider that a...
What the fuck is he talking about? The strait is shut down, dude. What are you talking about? It doesn't even matter if what he's saying is true. The strait is shut down. That has direct economic impact on the entire world that we're already seeing. And it's only going to get worse. And the longer it stays closed, the longer it's going to take to pick up the pieces from this insanity.
war, but if you want to define it as such, I guess you can.
Well, how do you define it?
I don't define it at all. I don't think about it. I just do what I have to do.
I just do whatever Netanyahu tells me to do, basically. When Bibi calls, I answer. When he says to jump, I ask how high.
But if you're not specifically calling it a war, would you consider sending some of the troops who are stationed there, who were sent because of Operation Epic Fury
boots on the
there,
ground?
home?
Are you
No, would
talking-
you consider sending them home if it's not technically a war?
We don't need as many troops. I think it's just like it's on the to err on the side of caution. We have a lot of people there. They're very safe.
He has no idea how many people are there.
You know, if you think we beat Venezuela, we lost nobody. We took over the whole country. We lost nobody. We have a great relationship, by the way, with Venezuela. Venezuela is doing very well, but we lost nobody.
Cool. What does that have to do with Iran?
We've lost 13 people here, and that's a lot. 13 people too many. But if you look at Vietnam, where hundreds of thousands of people were killed, if you look at
That was a war.
any one of
So
the
is he comparing this war to other wars? I thought he said it wasn't a war.
last 7 or 8 wars where many, many people were killed, we lost 13. And again, 13 is too many. I don't want to lose any. But 13 is less than anybody's ever even envisioned. I think we're doing a great job.
Yeah, we're doing awesome. Only 13 U.S. soldiers died.
Consider sending some of the troops.
I think we're doing a great job.
But so are you saying you would consider sending some of the troops home, sir? Some of the 50,000 troops who were sent there as a part of Operation
I
at
would
the
say
Curie?
this. It costs us very little to keep them there. I don't consider them in danger.
What do you mean? It's a fucking fortune. What are you talking about? Hundreds of millions of dollars every day to maintain these warships and aircraft carriers and, all 50,000 personnel, all of which have salaries, and it adds up, and everybody's just sitting out in the fucking ocean while we're just watching the economic collapse happen from the inside in slow motion. This is absolute insanity. What is he talking about? This is a giant waste of money. Can you imagine if they put the money that they're dumping into this into healthcare, education, fixing up the public transportation system, fixing the roads? Our infrastructure in the United States is garbage, but we're dumping hundreds of millions of dollars every day so that we can blockade Iran's blockade. Yeah, that sounds super reasonable.
We have the best defense anyone's ever seen. We have the best offense anyone's ever seen. So I don't consider it danger. I would say it would be foolhardy to do that because maybe we may use them. It's unlikely, but I think we'll keep them there until such time as we have a completion. And when we have a completion, you will see things like you've never seen. The oil will go down. The stock market already, as you know, it's hit an all-time high. Even in the midst of it, it hit all-time.
It's artificially inflated. You guys rigged the stock market.
Highs. We had 73 all-time highs in a short period of time that I've been in office.
Because you guys rigged the fucking stock market.
Which is a record, by the way. And, we're doing very well. But
I want to ask him about the male cheerleaders photo that he posted on Truth Social. That's the hard-hitting questions the American people need to know. Let's jump forward where it gets a little bit more intense. Trump starts getting even more orange red, if that was even humanly possible. So we're going to skip to about 31 minutes, 30 minutes in. Well, actually, it's a little bit further than that. We need to go to about 34, 33. Now, this is the segment that everybody's flipping out about.
This $1.8 billion so-called anti-weaponization fund, it was going to compensate people who say the federal government weaponized the legal system against them. It's been blocked by the courts, met with opposition from Republicans
and Democrats
in Congress and Democrats.
Excuse me, mostly Democrats.
Mostly
some
Democrats and some Republicans.
Some, very few Republicans.
Just to be very clear, are you backing off the fund completely, as your acting Attorney General Todd Blanche has said, or are you looking for another avenue to revive the fund?
Let me explain what the fund is. People have been hurt so badly by radical left lunatics that worked for the Biden administration and Sleepy Joe.
Where did that happen? Who are these left-wing extremists that hurt people? Because January 6th was 99% MAGA folks, maybe a little bit of, I don't even think there was any opposition there. I'd say the remaining percentage is like press. It was like mostly MAGA folks, the vast majority, Proud Boys, right? Literal white supremacist gangs, okay? So I'm not seeing any left-wing extremists there. I don't know. These left-wing extremists that they're always describing sound badass. I think we need more of those in the streets because we definitely are not. I don't see what he's talking about. Obviously, this is a distraction from the truth.
They're vicious, they're violent, what they did to people. And of course, they went after me more than anybody else. They raided Mar-a-Lago and all the other things. But people have been badly hurt. They've committed suicide. They've lost their jobs. They've lost their families. They've lost their wives. They've lost.
Because they illegally broke into the Capitol and tried to overthrow the American democracy.
Lost everything. They've lost everything over a fake weaponization of government. Now,
So
let
are
me
you
just tell
looking
you.
for a way to revive it?
What are you talking about? You told them to go to the Capitol. The entire thing was highly coordinated. So I don't know what he's talking. It just doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
Well, look, if it was up to me, I'd pay them the kind of money that they deserve. People have been destroyed. Lives have been destroyed. Many suicides. Think of it. People have committed suicide because a bunch of thugs went after them.
You don't-
So, me personally, I think the weaponization fund is a great idea.
Look at how they're trying to flip this on its head. They're trying to say that the January 6th rioters deserve compensation.
So do many other Republicans. You have to get it approved. If they get it approved, that's great. If they don't get it approved, I'd be disappointed.
All right.
I just think it's disgusting how they're trying to flip this on its head. They're trying to act like a bunch of, ghostly. It's just that there were no left-wing extremists. This was all white supremacist, Proud Boy type, MAGA folks that stormed the Capitol January 6th. This is all extremely well documented. All of us witnessed this. This is just gaslighting. This is just gaslighting, misdirection, while they try to raid tax dollars. While they try to pocket more tax dollars.
We're going to motor through this.
But you have to understand, people have been destroyed
The fuck is that background noise?
by crooked politicians, and they should be reimbursed for that.
Do you think anyone who attacked police officers on January 6th should get taxpayer money?
I wouldn't be
She even shook her head no. She's like, no. Say no.
inclined to say so, but I have to see it. I can tell you this, 97% of those people, you look at them, the FBI or whoever it was, because you had a lot of crooked cops.
Here we go. He completely deflected and just avoided the question altogether.
Dirty cops. Comey was a dirty cop.
Well,
A
there's
guy
no
like
evidence.
So yeah, basically, if you attack police officers, you deserve taxpayer dollars. You should become a millionaire on taxpayer dollars because you attack police officers Trump didn't like. So you should get paid for that, is what he's saying.
was a dirty
But
cop.
there's no evidence.
Wait a minute,
that
wait a
people
minute.
Who,
Oh,
we
you
have
think Comey was a
170
straight
people
cop?
who pleaded guilty to assaulting police
Comey
officers.
was a dirty cop.
No, but
they
the
had
people who
FBI.
The fuck does that have to do with anything? He's still a police officer. You can't just attack police officers. Doesn't matter if they're crooked or the greatest cop ever to exist. It's against the law to attack police officers, and you shouldn't get reimbursed by taxpayer dollars.
assaulted police
Listen to
officers.
me. They had FBI agents ushering them into the building. They had
Fucking bullshit. Prove it. There's zero evidence of that. It never happened, man. They broke into the Capitol. They crushed a man breaking in. And you're telling me they were ushered in. Now, I did see some footage where eventually they just kind of overtook, and some security guards were like, dude, I'm not losing my life over this. I don't blame them. They violently overthrew the Capitol. I mean, temporarily, of course, thank God. But they were trying to overthrow our democracy. And Trump is deflecting to say that this is the ghost of Antifa. And also, not on top of that, it's okay to attack police officers as long as they're on Trump's naughty list.
FBI go into the building. Those people walking around, they're looking always in this night. They weren't in. They were
There's
being
no
ushered
evidence
into
of
the
that,
building.
sir. There's no evidence
You
of
had a
that.
bunch
Yeah,
of
there's zero evidence of that. All the evidence we have shows violent overthrow of the Capitol. Again, a man was crushed to death. A woman on the MAGA side got shot and died on the scene because they were breaking into the Capitol. Okay? I mean, it was absolute insanity. It was absolute insanity.
dirty cops. And frankly, what they did was weaponization of our government.
But sir, there's no evidence of that.
How are the cops weaponizing the government? Makes zero sense. They have no federal authority whatsoever.
Than 1,000
No,
people
well, yeah, no,
pleaded
there's
guilty
none.
to
You know what you
crimes.
do? Try
Would
looking
you-
at the tapes one time.
Would you take it off
Look
the
at
table?
the tapes
okay,
one time.
but 172 people did plead guilty to assaulting police officers.
You know why they pled
Should
guilty?
they be exempt
Because they told they
from
were going to
receiving
jail
funds?
for 15 years if they didn't.
Should
They
they?
pled guilty because they were frightened. They went down. They were
All 172 of them.
ushered into a building. Many of them were arrested without even going
You'd be
into the
okay
building.
with them receiving taxpayer dollars?
Let's see what he does now. I'm interested to see how he deflects. The question is, should they receive taxpayer dollars if they attack police officers?
The people were destroyed by dirty cops and by weaponization. Many of those people should be compensated. Now,
Complete deflection. Okay, got it. Got it. I assumed as such.
with that being said, as I understand it, the weaponization fund was going to set up a group of people, people that could be picked by anybody, fair people, smart people, and they will go on an individual case basis.
Okay.
Now, I don't know what
That sounds super fair. We're going to select a group of people who will select the correct domestic terrorists to award taxpayer dollars to.
people like you, the fake, dirty press, the
Here we go. Here we go. Going straight for the jugular.
crooked press, people like stupid Biden. He's not smart enough to know what's going on, but people that surrounded him.
Bro, why are you talking about Biden? Biden I haven't heard a peep from Biden. Nothing. What's he talking about?
Surrounded his beautiful, resolute desk in the Oval Office. What they did to the lives of people, they destroyed people. They sent people to jail.
How many times has he said people? It's about 50 times now.
Did nothing
All
wrong.
right, just to be very clear, there's no evidence of what you're saying. But let
There's
me
a
ask
lot
you
of
about
evidence.
Todd Blanche. Let me ask you about
Listen
Todd
to me.
Blanche.
That pissed him off right there, I'm sure.
Listen to me.
Let's talk
There's
about Todd
tremendous evidence. There's nothing
What's
but
not been
evidence. The
presented in
election
a
was
court of
rigged.
law.
It was a
Which election? Which one, dude? Because Elon's ex is talking about real-time voting data and how Elon was able to know the election results, right? This rumors, but this is what Elon's girl ex has come out and said, and he has the audacity to talk about rigged elections to insinuate that this is coming from the left. Give me a fucking break, dude. All of the people who got arrested for trying to rig elections were all right-wingers. I think it was pretty much all of them. For the past 2-3 election cycles, it's all been MAGA psychos trying to drop 2, 3, 4 ballots and do all this stupid shit. They get caught instantly because they're so dumb. So there is no evidence of rigged elections. This is all hogwash nonsense. Not one thing he said in this interview is coherent.
dirty election.
Mr.
And it's
President,
happening again right now
You've
in
never
California.
presented evidence
It's happening
that the
right
2020
now in
election
California.
was rigged.
Right now, look at what's
Where's
happening
the
in
evidence
California.
to that?
It's
The
4
Republicans
days.
are doing well in California.
California, no, they're not. They're dropping fast because it's a rigged election. Let me tell you, it's 4 days.
If everything's rigged, then why should we trust in you, sir? You know, like if every election is rigged, that the Republicans don't win, of course. If the Republicans don't win, it's rigged. I just don't understand this argument trying to feed this bullshit to the American people that our electoral process is not secure. It's absolutely the farthest from the truth. Matter of fact, you know, a lot of his friends, like, what's his name? Mike Pillow, got hit with defamation lawsuits for saying very similar things to this, for going after the actual hardware companies that are involved with various elections, right? So we have the opposite of everything that he's saying. We have the opposite of. We have fair and secure elections for the most part. I think the Electoral College is bullshit. It needs to get thrown out completely. I just don't understand this argument. Everything's rigged. Everything's rigged. Then you won. So what happened there?
and they aren't even close to
That's how
coming
they-
up
that's
with
how
it.
they
You
count
know
the
why
votes
they're
in
doing that? Because
California.
they're cheating on the election.
What do you have evidence to support
All I have to
that?
do is look. All I have to
But
do is
that's
look.
not
And I
evidence.
listen. And I listen to people. And let's see what happens.
But sir, that's not evidence.
Do you think
and
it's appropriate
That's how they
that they
count the votes in
Do you
California.
think it's appropriate that they have an election and 5 days later they're nowhere close to picking a
State
winner?
and local officials acknowledge they are slow. They're urging.
No, they're crooked.
They're urging the
crooked.
votes to be counted quickly. That's how they vote
They're
in
crooked,
California.
just like you're crooked. Your press is crooked.
Yeah, so basically he got backed into a corner now. Now he's just going to start attacking Kristen's credentials personally.
And meet the press is crooked.
To be fair,
This is like authoritarian 101.
I'm not crooked, but let's
Really?
Let's
Well, you
continue.
play right into their hands. then.
Let's continue.
You're either crooked or you're stupid.
Let's
you play
continue.
right into their hands with this rap. You know that these elections are rigged. Your network knows that they're rigged. You know that I won an election in a landslide, and I got 94% bad press.
But Mr. President,
you know why I
you've
got
never
that?
presented
Because you have no
evidence.
credibility.
But you've never presented evidence that it was rigged. Let's keep talking about.
No, they did try to present a bunch of evidence that got thrown out in court because it was complete bullshit. You know, they don't have anything credible to back up any of their claims whatsoever.
Let's talk about Todd.
You
Blanche.
have more evidence. There's more evidence than ever presented.
Let's talk
Your
about
elections
You
in
went
this
to
country. We're
court.
like a third world country.
But sir,
Dude, what's he? I don't understand why he continues to talk about it. Comparing the country you're running to a third world country, you are in charge. So why are we running rigged elections then? If you have absolute authority, you're the president, right? Why are we still running these rigged elections?
Your elections are crooked, and you're crooked, and Meet the Press is crooked,
Mr.
and so
President-
is ABC,
Man, he is crashing out, isn't he?
and CBS, and CNN.
But, Mr. President-
You're one-sided crooked networks. All right, let's call it quits, because I've had enough. Thank you, darling. Have a good day.
Thank you, darling. Had to finish it up with a little misogyny there. Just a little misogyny on top. That's Trump.
Mr. President, let's please. I traveled all the way to Wisconsin.
I've sat in the
traveled
rain with
all
you.
I know. I
I've sat in the
traveled
rain
all the
with
way
you
to
for an hour,
Wisconsin.
on and off in the rain, and I've given you enough time. You ought to straighten out your press, because you know what?
Mr.
A
President,
country can never be great
traveled
with a
all-
dishonest
listen,
press.
we
Come on,
traveled
let's go.
Nah, a country can never be great with an idiotic authoritarian wannabe like Trump. Kristen is just asking questions, and Trump does not have the capability to answer these questions in any coherent or meaningful way. And that's why he storms off.
all the way to Wisconsin for this interview.
Bizarre interview, guys. But I expected nothing less. I mean, this is just kind of run-of-the-mill shit for Trump at this point. It's pointless to have interviews with the guy because he's not going to answer any questions in a meaningful way. I mean, it's just completely incoherent, these responses. Just like Christian was saying, there's zero evidence that elections are rigged. There's zero evidence that all these January 6ers were persecuted unfairly. So that's why they deserve American tax dollars. So this was a complete flop from Trump, a complete crash out, to be honest with you. It was cringe on top of it all. The man just has no decorum, and his brain's about to fall out of his ears. So I don't know. I personally, it's just my opinion. I think they got him hopped up and ready to go out there. He was looking especially swollen and weird today, and yeah, they definitely have him on something to keep him up, or either that or they're filming this interview at 2 a.m. because he has been publicly sundowning lately, which is a direct result of pretty much end-stage dementia or close to the end with dementia. So I think that his doctors gave him a little cocktail here to get him all prepped up, perked up for the interview. This is just my opinion, of course. I have zero evidence of this, but I don't know, man. It's just bizarre because the guy's been sleeping on camera recently. This interview, he seems awake, but tomorrow or the next day, we'll see him on camera slumped over in the Oval Office again. So that's what I'm saying. He's just completely all over the place right now. This is not what we want for the American people. This is not what we want in a president.